Welcome back to Bones, Bourbon, Barley, and Brass. We're a lifestyle channel where we discuss interesting things. Today is a Bones episode. We are going to discuss picanha or sirloin cap. And there's two ways to serve picanha. One way is like a prime rib or a roast. The other way is steaks. And today we're going to discuss steaks. I will say before we get started, I did not prepare the steaks in a typical Brazilian fashion. I grilled them more like a New York strip. I like being able to cut in the steak and get with every bite the fat cap on the steak. So that's how we did it in this episode. Just a little bit about the picanha or sirloin cap. It's a popular cut in Brazil. It's also a popular cut in Portugal. Often in the U.S., butchers divide this cut into the rump, the round, and the loin. And traditionally, the fat is removed before preparation. So in Brazil, they keep the fat, which, as some say, like Sam the cooking guy, fat means flavor. So what I did was Costco typically has these in pairs of two. And I often pick them up when they're available and save them for special occasions. My household had them for New Year's Day dinner. We originally wanted to do it for Christmas, but since we were out of town, I thought the cut wasn't going to get thawed in time, so we punted to New Year's Day. Now, what I did, as you'll see in the photos, is I took the rump cap and I cut it into about 1-inch steaks. There was about 5 or 6 steaks. And then the first thing I did was I got out my chimney starter, and we'll do a gear review on chimney starters. But if you are into charcoal grilling, and as you graduate higher and higher into, your grilling expertise, I think, for a $12 to $24 investment, a chimney starter is one of the best things you can ever buy. It's even great for camping trips. It's great for backyard grilling. If you have a farm or ranch, it's great for that too. If you do bonfires, it's just a very quick way to get a charcoal fire going and not have to use lighter fluid. No one likes a burger with a lighter fluid taste. We all have had those at college football tailgates. So what I did was I got the chimney starter going. I also have a Slow-n-Sear with my Weber kettle. I got that situated, and then once the charcoal was ready, I poured the charcoal in, had the vents wide open. Now that will get up to close to 700 degrees, which is outstanding for a sear. And in this method of cook, I did a reverse sear. So I put the steaks on. I also used cherry wood chips to give it a little flavor. In this particular cook, I also used Kinder's Cowboy Rub, which is like a buttery, little bit of mustard, little bit of chili note. It's great for steaks. I think it's one of the best rubs for steaks, in my opinion. And it goes good with a little bit of butter, particularly in like a cast iron situation. Now, in this situation, the picanha has its own fat cap, so there was no need for that. We let them reverse sear for about 10 minutes. My secret tool of choice in this cook is a meat thermometer. And I watched them until they got about 90 degrees internal. Then once they got 90 degrees internal, I began to rotate them and play games. The other thing I did as well was I ensured that the fat cap faced the heat to act as a barrier, not to overcook the meat, because you can always continue to cook meat, but once you overcook meat, then you get yourself in trouble. So I knew my target temp. My wife and I, we like our steaks medium rare or a little rare, sometimes black and blue. I knew I wanted to be about 118 going into the sear. So I got the steaks internal up to 118. As I got them to 118, then I put them on fat cap side down to engage the flame. It left some rendering on the grill grates, which made the grill grates slick. And then I seared both sides for no more than a minute, and I leveraged the heat and the flame to my advantage. And then when I was done searing them, basically I took the steaks and pulled them back on the near side of the grill so that they would still remain warm, but not necessarily continue to sear or continue to cook. And then, as you can see in the last photo, the outcome that we got ended up being a medium rare. I think when I did a temp check, we were somewhere in 125, 128 degrees Fahrenheit space. So for those of you in the rest of the world, you can do your Celsius calculations there. Again, if you like this content, go ahead and comment in the bottom. Also, like and subscribe. We will do another picanha video in the future where we do it more like a prime rib or a standing rib roast. We'll use a different rub and a different method of cooking. It's a little more of a smoke situation than it is a reverse sear. So until next time, cheers.